So, today I'm going to be telling you guys the story behind why I kicked my roommate out. So, you guys don't know this yet, but yes, I kicked out Cody. So, I just want to say before I record this video that I am not in any way telling you guys this story to bash on Cody or to bash on anybody that I talk about in this story. Like, that is not the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video is to explain to you guys what happened. People in my situation, or, you know, young people that are moving into their own place and are thinking about, you know, having their friends move in, you know, maybe it'll give them a bigger variety of scenarios out there, I guess, because before we moved them in, then people had all their stories about, like, you know, failure stories pretty much with, like, having their significant other's friends move in, and that's exactly what we did. We had Sean's lifelong friends move in with us so that they could get their own place and move out and do their own thing, you know? So that was the plan, but it didn't necessarily work out the way it was planned. And pretty much the moral of this story is, if you're trying to keep good relationships with your friends, don't move them into your house. I know that when we're all young and, you know, we're all excited and naive and thinking that, you know, that is the best, most fun, ideal situation is being roommates with your best friend. Like, that sounds great and all, but from our experiences, it never really works out, you know? Like, when you room with somebody, you get to know them like nobody else does, and, you know, sometimes it just doesn't work out. So I'm just gonna stop rambling and tell you guys what happened and tell you guys the story. And I am going to be changing the name of the girl in this video, so it is not gonna be her real name. I'm just doing that just out of respect for her, even though I hate her guts. Like, I'm not gonna blast her name out there, you know. But yeah, we'll see how this goes, because I don't usually use fake names for people, so I might just accidentally say her name at some point in this video. I'm not good at that. I'm not a good liar. But yeah, so I'm just gonna jump right into the story. So basically, if you didn't know, me and my boyfriend Sean, we moved into our own house, and after probably like a month or so after, we decided that we were going to move Sean's friends from Idaho up here. And it was originally supposed to be my twin sister that moved in with us, but then she did her own thing, you know. She got into some trouble. She's in prison now, so obviously she's not gonna come move in with us. But the next choice was Sean's friend Zach, which they've been friends for their entire lives. And, yeah, so that was the plan, was to have Zach move in, and then, we originally didn't think there was going to be a time limit. We didn't think that there was going to be any problems with it. We were just going to have him move in, save up enough money to get in his own place, and then have him move out when he was ready. Kind of like how we did at the RV park. We didn't have a time limit. It was just, you know, when we had enough money to move out. So that was the original plan. Shortly before we were gonna get set up to get Zach approved and go get Zach and all that, then we got a phone call from Sean's other friend, which he's also like a part of the group, you know, like he's always been a part of their friend group, and that would be Cody. And the reason why I'm not giving Cody and Zach fake names is because you guys already know about them, and it would be absolutely ridiculous for me to, you know, give them fake names when you guys know exactly who I'm talking about. So it's kind of like a little bit too late, so I'm not gonna give them fake names. But like I said, I'm not trying to bash on Cody or Zach or anything like that. Not like there's any reason to bash on Zach. This story is more so about Cody, but yeah, so anyways, Cody he called us up, and he was asking if it was possible for him to move in with us as well as Zach. And, you know, we were fine with it. We were, you know, told him that we would have to get it approved, we'd have to talk to landlords, blah, blah, blah. We also told him to ask Zach and make sure that was okay with him, because they were going to be sharing a room. And, yeah, so Cody said that, you know, he talked to Zach, it was all good, you know, blah, blah, blah. So then we went forth with, you know, getting them approved, talking to the landlords, and it ended up not being as easy as we thought it was going to be. The landlords actually didn't want any more people in the house, and so we had to kind of do a little bit of, like, you know, compromising. And that's why they gave us a 2-month limit, which it was originally supposed to be only 1 month, and they helped us out by giving us an extra month. So that was really nice on their part, you know. And so that was the plan since the beginning. When we went to go pick up Zach and Cody from Idaho, you know, like, that was the plan, was that they weren't going to have to pay rent. You know, originally they were going to have to pay rent, but once they had a 2-month limit, we told them, like, no, you guys don't need to pay rent, you don't need to pay bills, just save up as much money as you possibly can, because you guys only have 2 months, and then there's nothing we can do for you. And so that was the plan. And also, in exchange, you know, for their help, you know, like, they didn't have to pay rent, they don't have to pay bills, they don't have to do any of that. But we did ask that, you know, Cody, he's the only one besides Sean that has a car. And with all 4 of us, I don't know if I can't remember if I mentioned already, but shortly, like a day after they moved to Oregon, after we got them here, we got them both jobs at Pilot where we work. The only thing that they needed to do was Cody needed to help out with rides, help out with transportation. And also we needed both of them, like, if there was ever, like, a gap in the schedule where we needed a babysitter, we needed either Cody or Zach or Sean or me to be there to watch Aaliyah. So that was the deal, you know, like, we need, like, we're not gonna have you pay rent, not gonna have you pay bills, but if need be, we need rides and we need babysitters. So that was the deal. That was the plan. Everything was going perfectly fine for, like, the first month. There was no tensions, everything was good, you know, we were just trying to, like, focus on getting, figuring out, like, saving up money and all that, you know, for them and all that. So everything was going perfectly fine. And now I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about the girl that is in this story. So we're going to call her Hannah in this story, and like I said, I'm going to try to remember to keep calling her Hannah because I might slip up and say her actual name. But Hannah is, and I know I've talked about her to you guys, but, and you guys have actually seen her, so she's actually in our move-in video. She's the girl that helped us move in. But, yeah, so this girl, Hannah, she is a 20-year-old manager at my work, and when Sean and I first met her, we were really cool with her, and we thought she was a really cool person. You know, when Zach and Cody came to visit, like, way before we ever got in our own place or anything like that, we were still in the RV park when they came to visit. Then obviously we introduced them to Hannah and all that. And Zach really enjoyed Hannah, and Cody hated her guts. Cody did not like Hannah at all. He didn't like her personality. He, you know, was going off about, oh, I wouldn't touch Hannah with a 10-foot pole. Like, you know, like, he did not like Hannah. So we, you know, that was fine, whatever. So they left, you know, from their visit. You know, they were only here for a couple days, and yeah, but basically, long story short, when it comes to Hannah, is she is our manager. She's younger than all of us, which, you know, isn't really a big deal, but, you know, she's younger than all of us, but we used to be really cool with her. Sean and I used to be really cool with her, and we would invite her to the RV, and she would come hang out with us practically every day, you know. And then I started to kind of change my opinion on Hannah when one day I caught her talking bad about Sean to a group of coworkers. Like, I was bringing up a pizza, and all of them were, like, their backs were facing me, but, like, I, like, walked up on them talking bad, well, her telling them bad things about Sean. Like, she was pretty much complaining about him disrespecting her, and he needs to show her respect and blah blah blah. And, like, the thing that bothered me about that, hold on. So that's when I kind of started to change my opinion of Hannah. That bothered me a lot, just because we had invited her to our house. We were friends, you know, like we were all cool. I thought we were cool enough to where if she had a problem with Sean that she could come to us about it and talk to us about it and not sit there in a big old gossip circle talking about my boyfriend. So obviously I freaked out, you know, because she's supposed to be my friend, and you know, I freaked out on her that day. Like, you don't talk about my man like that. Like, we're supposed to be friends. Like, you come to my house, you hang out with us, and then I find you talking crap about my boyfriend. Like, what the hell? Like, are you some two-faced bitch or something? Like, what the hell? Who are you? And so, yeah, that's when I kind of started to, like, not really look at Hannah the same. Like, I didn't necessarily know if I wanted to be friends with her anymore, because that's not right. You don't talk about like your friends to other people, you know, coworkers, you know, when you're supposed to be friends. But then she just started to do more things that just started to lead up to, like, you know, Sean and I absolutely despising this girl. Like, for example, like after we moved into our house and stuff, like she would come over or whatever, and you know, she would just like blatantly be disrespectful. It was like she thought that she was our boss outside and inside of, outside and inside of work. Like, you know, if we were gonna go outside, you know, on the porch or something, like I let Aaliyah go outside on the porch without socks and shoes. Like, it's no big deal. I don't care. But if Hannah was over here, then like she would not let Aaliyah leave the house without putting socks on to go on the porch, you know, like stuff like that. Like, she would try and act like she was some bossy know-it-all, you know, and we were just like, dude, like, what are you doing? This is my house, first of all. This is my daughter, first of all, and you're not mom, so what the hell are you doing? Because occasionally she would ask if she could bring a friend over, and we would tell her yes sometimes, and every time that she came over with a friend, it would be a different guy, and every single one of those guys was wrapped around her like they thought they were dating, and she was always gung-ho about, oh, I don't fall in love, all these guys want me, you know, like she was really like into herself. She still is really into herself, you know, and she's just like, you know, it's almost like she was like being like a little whore, you know, like she just come over every time with a different guy, and they're all wrapped around her like they're dating. And I'm just like, Sean and I like really started to like look at this girl like, really? I didn't blatantly tell her, like, girl, you're a slut, like, I don't like you, like, because, you know, she was my boss. I wasn't gonna, you know, just come at her and be like, dude, you're a fucking slut. I'm not the type of person that likes to make people feel uncomfortable, even if I don't like them. Like, I don't want to, you know, come off and be a bitch to you and then have you feel uncomfortable around me just because you know that I don't like you, you know? So, like, I mean, unless I legitimately don't like you and I, like, really have a good reason, then I don't care. I'll just, you know, pretend like you don't exist. But, yeah, so I was still friendly towards Hannah, and so occasionally she would come by and hang out for a little bit. Every time Sean would just be like gritting his teeth because he hates her, and she would just do stuff to like really piss him off, you know. Zach and Cody move in, and I remember specifically because like Cody and Zach had met Hannah before, you know, if you remember me telling you that 2 seconds ago. So when we went to go pick up Zach and Cody, I had like mentioned to Cody like, oh yeah, because like the last time he knew, Hannah and I were cool, we were friends, like no bad vibes, nothing, you know. So like I had mentioned to him like, yeah, not cool with Hannah anymore, I don't like her, you know, she's being like a scandalous, two-faced whore pretty much, so I don't kick it with her, you know, like she's not my friend anymore, just so you know, like, you know, and I figured that's the end of it, you know, like our friend group's tight. If one person doesn't like somebody and it's a good reason, then the rest of the group is just gonna avoid that person, you know, that's what I figured. Naive little Nicole over here, that's what I figured. So we get Zach and Cody jobs at Pilot where we work, and they start working, you know, it's fine, it's dandy, blah blah blah, and then we start hearing a lot of like flirting going on between Hannah and Cody. Hannah is hardcore hitting on Cody, talking about his butt, talking about this, talking about how cute he is, blah blah blah, and Cody's digging it, you know. And at first we were like, dude, like that's so dumb, like she's so hitting on you, blah blah blah, you know. And then like he would talk about her all the time, you know. He started to talk about her all the time, like, oh, stupid Hannah, blah, 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 you know, and, like, he would act like he hated her like we did, but then again, you could tell that he didn't hate her, like, he almost liked her because of how much he talked about her. I started to get, like, suspicious that Hannah, like, legitimately liked Cody. The flirting continues, you know, Sean and I were kind of like, they better not. Hannah hits up Cody on Facebook, or Cody hits up Hannah on Facebook, whatever, you know, but either way, they start talking on Facebook, and let me tell you how freaking annoying it is, you know, and it's like so confusing and so frustrating because you want your friends to be happy. You want them to find a woman that they love and that they, you know, makes them super happy. But when it's somebody that you absolutely despise and you know they're not a good person, it's so hard. Like, it's just like, oh my God, like, that is the worst decision you could make. Like, don't do that. Cody would, like, you know, we'd be sitting there watching a movie and he'd just start dying laughing as he's looking at his phone and then tell us this stuff that Hannah said, you know, or, you know, and they're all like flirting, you know, they're like flirting with each other and shit, and we're all like, Sean, Zach, and I are all just sitting there like, girl, like, we could all see it happening, we could all see it like starting to blossom, but we were all kind of like, oh, I hope that doesn't happen. Yeah, I don't think it'll happen, because Cody knew how we felt about it. Cody knew that we absolutely despised this girl, and that, you know, out of every girl in Oregon, that is not the one to go for, you know, especially because she's your boss. Like, and that's like another thing that was like really annoying to me, was the fact that I could see the favoritism happening. I could see it happening in my own workplace, that I brought this fool too. Like, I brought you to my workplace so that I could watch my manager that I already don't like favoriting you. Like, quite honestly, Sean the entire time was like, no, he better not, no. But Cody and Hannah were both coming to me separately and talking to me about each other, and me being like the love person that I am, I was like, oh, I want you guys to be happy. I want you to be happy. You know, like, I didn't think that, you know, it was gonna explode or that they were gonna get serious or anything like that. So, like, I just wanted them to be happy. You know, I wanted them to enjoy each other. I thought maybe they'd hook up or something and that would be it. But no. So Nicole had to encourage them, and then, you know, Cody, like, he kept doing this thing where, like, he'd be talking to her, and then, you know, he would let, like, Sean's opinion or our opinions or Zach's opinions, like, he would let it get to him, and then he'd tell her, like, no, I'm not talking to you, you're just my boss, blah, blah, blah. And then she would get all heartbroken or upset, whatever, and then she'd tell me, like, oh, I'm not giving up, I don't care, I'm not giving up. And that was when I was like, well, fine then. Hannah and Cody started, like, talking, like, pretty much every day, and then one day they decided that Cody was gonna go stay the night at Hannah's house, and we were like, okay, whatever. Sean was absolutely, like, you know, disgusted by it. Like, he was like, really, bro? Like, whatever, okay. But, you know, we were all kind of like our feelings were kind of hurt. It's hard to explain, because, like, when you go so far for one person, you know, like, we did everything for Cody, like, we did everything to make sure that they could come here and be comfortable and happy and start a new life, and then to have him turn around and replace us with the devil is like, what? But we were also really aware of the fact that we didn't like this girl. So we were really trying not to be, like, assholes about it. Like, you know, trying not to, like, cross that line between, you know, like, we're being fucked up and, you know, I don't know, this is, like, okay. I don't know if that makes sense, but, like, it's just really confusing, because, like, you know, you want your friends to be happy, but like I said, when they're going for someone like that, it's like, dude, like, please just stop. Don't do that to yourself. So they start hanging out every single day, and Cody becomes MIA every single day. we never see Cody, you know, ever. He's always at Hannah's house, and he's coming home. You know, the only time he comes home is when she's not at work. If she's not at work, or when she's at work, I'm sorry. When she's at work, if she has to work, he'll be at the house talking about Hannah and about all the fun things they did and all her friends and blah, 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 you know, and just telling us all this stuff that we really don't want to know just because we fucking hate her and we don't want to know about her and all her stupid friends, you know, like, so it was really, like, kind of tense, you know. It started to build tensions when Cody started disappearing every day and going to Hannah's house, especially because if you guys remember, they only have 2 months to get in their own place, and now Cody's not focused on finding a house. He's not focused on finding his own place. He's focused on going to Hannah's house every single day. So, you know, that like leaves Zach over here like, okay, if Zach was completely dependent on you, you guys came up here together. You guys came up here to do this together. If Zach was completely dependent on you and making sure that your head was in the game too, Zach would be completely right now. Like, he would have nothing because you decided that you wanted to go spend all your time with this stupid girl. And it really, really started to hit the roof as soon as it started to screw with my work. As soon as it started to screw with my work schedule and my, like the schedules and all that, that's when I started to get very, very angry. Hannah, she was a high enough manager to where she was in charge of schedules. So it started to be a little fishy after Cody and Hannah started hanging out every day, that Cody was now at the max amount of hours that he could get. And Sean, who was in the same department as him and had seniority over him, was cut back a very big amount. You know, like Cody had a lot more hours than Sean did, you know, and it was just funny that Hannah is the one that made the schedule. And also, Sean and I, like, Sean's days off are always on Mondays. He always has Mondays off, and whether it's Monday, Tuesday, or Sunday, Monday, like, he always has Mondays off. Hannah also always has Mondays off. And when she did the schedule, like, because it's been like a problem with the schedule that Sean and I are always trying to get our days off together because we never get our days off together, you know? And so it really like upset me when I looked at the schedule and she had scheduled Sean to have Monday off as usual, and then she had scheduled Cody to have Monday off, and I was working Monday, when it's like, you could have switched that. You could have put Cody to work on Monday and had me have that day off so that Sean and I could have at least one day off together. But no, she was thinking about her and Cody, so she gave Cody that day off so that her and Cody could have the day off together. It just really started to screw with my work schedule, my peace, my vibes. Like, I started to get really tense, and it just got even worse the more that they started hanging out, because now Cody was absolutely MIA. Look at my tripod. Oh my god. The only thing that we expected from Cody was to help out with rides and to help out with babysitting. Well, he started leaving Zach with the duties of babysitting Aaliyah. Even if Cody had the day off and Zach had to work late that night, Cody would go stay the night at Hannah's house and leave Zach to be the one to have to get up with Aaliyah in the morning, even though he worked late that night. You know, he wasn't thinking about us. He was thinking about him and Hannah. And that was what started to really, really grind my gears. I started to get really butthurt at the fact that we did all of this for Cody. We went so out of our way for Cody so that he could start a new life, and then he turns around and puts us on the back burner because he's got some in his life. And it's like, excuse me? Hell no. Hell no, bro. Like, no. I'm not your mommy. I'm not here to freaking give you a place to sleep if you need it. No. If you don't like it, go live somewhere else. Like, he would go stay the night at Hannah's house and leave Zach to watch Aaliyah in the morning. And the reason why Zach had to get up in the morning with Aaliyah is because after the schedule thing, then Sean and I freaked out. Like, we freaked out on this whole schedule thing, and we brought it to a higher manager's attention, and they took Hannah off the schedule so she couldn't do the schedule anymore, and they put a higher manager on the schedule. And the very second that a higher manager touched that schedule, mine and Sean's schedule was fixed. Absolutely fixed. If you guys remember me telling you that a manager like took over the schedule and fixed it to where we have our days off together now, that's why, is because Sean and I freaked out because Hannah was like screwing up the schedule and tweaking it to make it okay for her, but everybody else's schedule was screwed. So not even just mine and Sean's, like everybody else's. Sorry you guys, so my camera died, and it's been a couple days since I started recording this video or this update, and I am here again to finish this story or update or whatever. And I also have more to update on with this whole Cody situation. So after I kicked Cody out of the house, then the next day, like obviously, you know, things were pretty tense, you know, but I was the only one out of the entire household, even though Sean and Zach were also really hurt and upset at the fact that Cody was totally putting us on the back burner and totally forgetting about his true friends. You know, like they were totally being loyal to him still, and you know, Cody wasn't my lifelong friend, you know, he was just like a good friend that I had met when I met Sean, you know, so I just didn't have that background history. I didn't have that, you know, history with Cody that Sean and Zach had. So obviously, you know, after the whole thing, then they both kept their loyalty to Cody, even though they were totally disagreeing with everything that he was doing. You know, there shouldn't have been any tensions between Zach and Sean and Cody. After he moved out, then the very next day, and I can't remember if I mentioned this previously in the video that I started recording this on, but the day that I kicked Cody out also, I mentioned how I knew that he was full of shit because, like, when he said he wasn't coming to pick me up because he was having a panic attack, like, I knew he was full of shit because it was Montana's day off. And then when I finally got back to work, or when I finally got to work, then, my boss, like, the main big boss, he tells me that, Cody called out sick, and so he was claiming to be sick, you know, and so I knew that was absolute bullshit, and I called him out right on it, because, like, you know, this manager knew about, like, the whole Hannah Cody thing, you know, and, Cody had admitted it to this manager, and he's, like, the big head boss, and that's not okay for a manager and a maintenance guy to be hooking up. He confronted Hannah. She, completely denied it, obviously, because if she were to admit it, she would lose her job. So yeah, he called out sick that day, and then so I totally knew he was full of shit, and I, you know, expressed that to the big head boss, and he totally, before I even said anything, he totally suspected that it was weird, you know, and that Cody was full of shit. So yeah, but the next day, the day after, he was also supposed to go into work that day, and the next day he shows up and he turns in his uniform and he quits at Pilot, where we got him a job. So he quit his job, which was whatever, and then like that same day, like Sean came up to me and he told me that he had talked to Cody, and that Cody said that he was leaving Oregon and that he was going back to Idaho. And I was like, yeah, good. Bye. See you later, dude. Like, take your drama and your fake ass with you. Yeah, so I was totally like, good. I'm glad he's going back to Idaho. Like, everything was perfectly fine before he got here, so good. And that's not really true, because like Cody, he was perfectly fine. It was fine before he started, you know, dating our boss. We were like, okay, and like Zach and Sean, you know, obviously there was not supposed to be any tensions between Cody and them. They were being really cool about it. They weren't, you know, being aggressive and hostile like I was, you know, because I was just done at this point, you know. I was totally fed up with both Hannah and Cody, and, you know, I was just done. A couple days go by, and, you know, Cody is in Idaho, and we just find it odd that Cody, within the next couple days, he doesn't hit up Sean, he doesn't hit up Zach, like nothing at all, no phone calls, no Facebook, nothing. And that was odd to us, you know, because you would think, because this whole situation happened, all of it happened because of Hannah. So if Cody left Oregon and he went back to Idaho and he had time to cool off, things would have blown over, you know, he wouldn't have been around Hannah, he would have been able to get home and kind of like probably realize, you know, hopefully realize that he was a selfish prick. And we were thinking that, you know, at some point he would have hit up Sean or Zach, you know, at least something. But no, like, we didn't hear anything from him, like they didn't hear anything from him either. And just yesterday, Sean was like super hurt. Like, he was really upset yesterday. And today's date is May 29th. So yeah, I'm not sure what day I started recording this. Sean was really upset yesterday because he went to go hit up Cody on Facebook and find out if he made it back to Idaho okay, you know, just see if he was okay. And he found out that Cody had blocked him on Facebook. Usually, like, I mean, it's Facebook, who cares, whatever. But Sean and Cody have been friends for like 8 or 9 years, you know, they've been friends for a long time. And nothing has torn them apart, you know, same with Sean and Zach and Cody. Like, nothing has torn this like trio of best friends up. And now all of a sudden, because this stupid is in this picture, then now all of a sudden Cody is blocking Sean on Facebook, and then later we find out that he also blocked Zach on Facebook. Yeah, so he blocks Zach and Sean on Facebook. And they both were like so hurt because there was not supposed to be any tensions between them. Sean and Zach, like, they never like went all hostile crazy on Cody like I did, you know, and not even like I went hostile crazy on him. Like, I literally, like, I kept my tongue held the entire time. I never went crazy on Cody like I should have, and I was just more vocal. I was the only one who vocalized to Cody that he was being a freaking idiot. Seriously, like, we did everything for him. We brought him here, we gave him a place to stay, got him a job, like, gave him the opportunity to start a brand spanking new life, and this is how he does us. Like, yeah, we see your true colors, Cody. When I was getting ready to leave work, then Zach, he was getting ready to go into work, and he got a phone call from Cody. This is the first time that we've heard from him since he got kicked out and said he was going to Idaho. And oh, also, our suspicions, I remember saying that he should have texted or, you know, hit up Sean or whatever. You know, if he was in Idaho, things would have blown over. My point of all that was we had suspicions that he didn't go to Idaho at all and that he was still living at Hannah's house. So, Zach gets a phone call from Cody today, and I don't know like what their conversation was. I know that Zach was like, yeah, so you in Idaho? Are you in Oregon? Like, what's going on? Why'd you block me on Facebook? Like, what the hell, dude? We're friends. Like, what the hell? And basically, from what I heard from the conversation, Cody had nothing to say except for bringing shit up from the past and trying to turn this whole thing all around on us and make us all seem like the bad guys, including Zach, bringing crap up from like way back, like, you know, about like, oh, I think you lied to me about your old job. Like, what does that even have to do with this, Cody? But yeah, so like basically their conversation, you know, like was Zach like, you know, just like trying to figure out what the hell was going through Cody's head. He did say that he is living with Hannah and he plans on staying with Hannah, and maybe he's gonna go back to Idaho in a couple years. But the fact that like you told us you were going to Idaho. You told us you were going back to Idaho. You told everybody at our job that you were going back to Idaho. In all reality, you lied to our faces and you're still living with her. You're still living with Hannah. you know, and it's just like, I have to see her face every day in a manager's shirt, like she's all high and mighty, and it's like, I want to kill you, like seriously, like oh my god. And Sean's the same way, especially because he hated her so much before all this happened, and then now she's the one that ruined a 9-year friendship. And I completely regret ever bringing him to Oregon. I wish that we would have just left his ass in Idaho to rot. And yeah, that's basically how I feel about the situation. And I know, like, I don't know, like I just think about like before we even went and got them and how excited we were, and how like, you know, excited we were to like give them a new life and give them the opportunity, you know, to start a new life. And we were like, before we went to Idaho to bring our friends here, we were kind of lonely, you know, like we missed our friends. We weren't making very many like outside friends, like other than Hannah, you know, and look how she turned out to be. So, you know, like it just, we missed our friends, and we were really excited to bring them here. And the fact that like Cody completely like just like blatantly and obviously took advantage of us and then like threw us aside as soon as he got what he wanted, it's like people these days, man, like you really think that you have a friend, you really think you know someone, and then they move into your house and you realize just who that person is. Yeah. We're still going to try and do as much as we can for Zach. There's not much we can do about the landlords giving us a time limit on the, you know, having roommates and stuff. So not really much we can do, but we're going to do everything that we can. He's still looking for a place and saving up money. So yeah. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye!